demon. You are my son.
Let's talk about Ne 2, which I had the opportunity to watch last week at an early screening. So this is a movie that premiered in China last year, and then it also was released this year in the United States for a limited release. And it had some other screenings elsewhere. I mean, it became the highest grossing animated film of all time for a reason, and is currently in the top 5 of the most highest grossing films of all time. This movie went to make over $2 billion, and it hadn't even released in the United States. So this is a movie that is indeed coming for everybody. The film is one of those movies that I think is better if you just watch it sub, because I really did like some of the dub, but some of the dub just felt a little iffy at points. Nonetheless, however, I really do love that A24 is reintroducing this film to many people that may have not caught it when it first released here in the States earlier this year. The movie is based on Chinese mythology, so watch it on the biggest screen you possibly can. I had the opportunity to watch it in IMAX. I know IMAX is a little bit pricey. I don't know if I would ever pay an IMAX ticket just like that without really thinking if I'm gonna really enjoy this film or not. So I totally get you there. If you can watch it at matinee IMAX, that's even better, but I know those can go for like 15-20 bucks, which is insane. But I do implore you, watch this on the big screen at least if possible, because the animation here is so beautiful. It is dazzling, and it really is one of those that you just really want to take in. The fight sequences here were just incredibly well done, and the music, the score, everything that follows here as well, blaring through those big theater screens, it was just impeccable, honestly. The film also is filled with action, of course. Like I said, the film is also filled with a ton of comedic moments as well. There were so many moments in this movie that just felt like, what? How did we even get here? But I love it. And there's one sequence with the beavers. The beavers, I'm telling you, you're gonna remember the beavers. Just remember that when you're watching this, when you see the beavers, you know you're about to get into something that is just like, I don't even know how to describe it. But Ne 2 really blends comedy, it blends action, but also the drama and the emotions here really hit hard. This is a movie that is, of course, about corruption in the world, and it is based on the 16th century novel, but it is still, like so many of the things that they go over in the film, are things that we see in our society still today. And at its core, it is a film about family, fitting in, wanting to know if you're able to change your fate or not. Just because something is written or people think you're going to turn out some way doesn't mean you have to be that way. You can be who you are destined to be, or who you want to be. You can always change that path. And I think that's what Ne 2 really gets at its core. I really do love that this film feels so fresh, it feels so new, but at the same time, you can tell that they still are really trying to pay tribute to their culture and the history behind it and all of that, which is always great to see when they're able to do so here. And Ne is such an interesting character that I think so many people are going to really resonate with. Like, I really do see the hype going into Ne 3 being built really well with this film and what the director has done. So I'm excited to see what that future may look like. Over 2 hours long, I do think the film does have some moments where it starts to feel like it's getting a bit too long, or it's overstaying its stay, in my opinion. Some people were okay with it, but I do think there are moments there where you're just like, okay, can we get to this certain part again and move forward with it? But that's just me. That was just me. Overall, still, however, I think that they really nail it with its final act, because it is so grand and so epic. One of those moments that truly just makes you like shed a tear on just how good it is. And it was just so breathtaking to watch on the biggest screen, which was the IMAX screen. And I am so ready to see what they do in the future with these films. If you have not watched the first Ne, I don't think you really have to watch it to really get this one. I think that they do a good job with this one of explaining what happened in the previous installment, but I would suggest you do watch it just so you have some more understanding of the characters. And I think there's some jokes here and there that definitely will go over your head if you haven't watched the first one, so definitely do that if you can. But this is one of those movies that if you have the opportunity to watch it, if it's playing anywhere near you and you're just looking for a great animated film that feels epic and grand, this one's it. If you're a fan of animes, this one's definitely gonna like be that movie you're gonna really enjoy a lot, because there's so many of those moments that we all love from animes, from Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, all of those that definitely bring you back to those moments. And watching those on the big screen, you definitely would have felt such an immense like feeling of joy. I just wish we got more animated films from around the world, because I think we're missing out on a ton of things here in the United States, with animated films not really being showcased from all parts parts of the world, right? And I think it's just with the way that people view animated films from the get-go, right? That we've seen it a ton from Hollywood and things. They don't get the respect that they deserve. And there's been so many great animated films I've seen at festivals that don't ever make it onto the big screen, and it is just a shame. So I'm glad to see that Najah 2 is really giving Hollywood a run for its money. Literally, that's what Hollywood thrives on, is their money only. So I think that this is a wake-up call for them to be like, hey, we're getting a little bit behind on the animated stuff. Let's give some creative people and daring people some more money to work with, and let's present more animated films out there, because there's endless possibilities when it comes to animated films, and I just hope we see that more and more in the future. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you thought about Najah 2. I enjoyed it. Visually, it's beautiful, great story, everything about it. The score is so grand, it's so roaring. Really recommend seeing this on the biggest screen possible if you can. Really would be happy to know what you thought about it once you watched it, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow with spoilers and what could we expect to see in the third film as well. So stay tuned for that. But as always, that is going to do it for me. Check out my other reviews I've done already for another film coming out this weekend, which is Lurker. I also have a review for Splitsville, which is a new Neon movie as well, coming out in theaters. So A24, Neon, and Movie both have movies coming out this weekend. There's no excuse not to go to the theaters. There's really something for everybody as well, because all three are so different. But check out those reviews whenever you can. I also am on TikTok, Instagram, our website, www.culturalelixir.com. Don't miss out on any of the stuff we put out, because we are putting out a ton of things as we are preparing for festival season. So very excited for that. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Najah 2. If you liked it or not. What do you think about it being the highest grossing animated film of all time and being in the top 5 for all films? In the comments down below, leave your thoughts. But as always, I'll see all of you next time on the road to 50,000 subscribers. That's our big goal for the summer. As always, stay safe, stay positive.
I will change my destiny!
We're also trying to build our following on Instagram, and it is a grind on Instagram to get followers, and really would appreciate if any of y'all would go over there and follow us. We usually just post shorts, but we're trying to figure out more things to post over there that are more exciting. So stay tuned for that. We're trying to figure out more things on the channel, especially as we get into this festival season, to make it that much more better, and something that is just going to be like a community of sorts, but still trying to figure it out. But go follow us over there. Really would appreciate it.